Hey everybody, welcome to Comics from the Future. I'm Andy.
I'm Matt.
We're here with Infinity Flux Comics out of Chattanooga, Tennessee, and this is our big show where we show you some of the biggest and best books that you can pre-order by this weekend. So head on over to infinityflux.net right now. Start placing your pre-orders for some of these awesome books that are coming out to a few weeks, to a month or so. That way, when they are released, you don't have to worry about them selling out. You'll already have yours pre-ordered, because you know how pre-orders work. We've been doing it for years.
That's right.
So this is another really big show with a lot of really cool stuff. I did want to make a small note, which is pretty cool. I'm not sure if we're talking about on here, but Marvel in the past has had some foil covers.
Yeah.
And the prices for those have been really wonky. Like, they didn't reflect what the actual price was.
Inconsistent?
But they have fixed that now. So if you go on the website to pre-order one, used to treat it like an incentive, and we would have to actually send you the price, because what they had listed was like the retailer, like our price for it.
I get those emails. You need to go approve something because it costs more. You know?
Well, we have actually contacted Marvel about this, and they fixed it. Okay. So the prices are correct, reflecting the foil covers. Again, I don't know if we're talking about it on here, but I just wanted to make a note about that. Just another little speed bump taken out of the way of your pre-ordering. But again, your pre-orders Sunday by 6 o'clock, so you don't miss out on these awesome books. And let's get into it. We're going to kick it off with our Prime Comic pre-orders.
We are going to start with Avengers #1. Yeah. This is the next big thing coming after the end of Avengers Armageddon, which is going to end in October. This will come out in November. What does the world look like after Avengers Armageddon? I have no idea, but it sounds like something is going to happen. Of course, this is written by Chip Zdarsky. The art is by Marco Cicchetto. I love the idea of having those two back on Daredevil, among other characters. But the solicitation does mention that the world order has been completely rewritten after Avengers Armageddon. And I'm having trouble getting my brain around that, because it doesn't seem like all the other books are going to be affected. So I don't really know what that's going to mean. But after that happens, there comes a day, unlike any other, when a new group of Earth's mightiest heroes find themselves united to avenge the Marvel Universe. Spider-Man, Wolverine, Captain Marvel, Daredevil, Luke Cage, and Redacted. I don't know who Redacted is. It actually says Redacted in the solicitation. I'm wondering if it's a character that should go next to Luke Cage on the cover there, between Spider-Man and Daredevil, if they've been left off of the cover, or maybe not. I don't know. But so I will be interested to see. There's rumors that Miracle Man is coming in.
Oh,
but I don't know if that's it or not. That might be wrong. So I saw something about that, but who knows? We
have seen from the preview pages that it does look like, this are staying in rubble. In the preview pages, New York looks basically the same. Although the only thing that's weird is there's a character that like flies up above that kind of has the silhouette of maybe David Colton is still around. Or
well, I saw something and I thought, there's Miracle Man. Oh, but that's Captain Marvel, because she's got the blue and the red. So I don't know.
Yeah, it's up in the air, and that's what I really like about this is, even though we're already ordering it and stuff, they've given us enough information without spoiling everything. And especially not spoiling how Avengers Armageddon's going to end.
Right. Which
is great. I hate when they, they're like, the solicitation will be like, well, after so-and-so defeated so-and-so, you're like, I guess that's how that ends. But no, this still feels kind of ambiguous, and I really like that.
Yeah. Yeah, because like I said, I don't even have a theory as to what I think might happen. I thought maybe at the end, everything would be in disarray and it would almost be like a post-apocalyptic world or something. But no, those previews, everything's hunky-dory in New York City. So I have no clue what's going to happen, but I'm very interested in finding out. So, so it's going to be right here. This comes out on November 4th, so we're pretty far ahead of the 8 ball, but I guess they want to get these in now. So this is your Marco Cicchetto A cover. There's an Art Germ classified variant.
Might have your extra character on there.
Yep. There's a blank variant. There is a David Nakayama color block red wraparound variant. It's
pretty cool.
Characters
I guess all with red on
there. Yep. There's your Avengers lineup. No, I don't. Julian Totino Tedesco, another classified cover, I guess. Interesting. There's a Kari Andrews wraparound variant. I like this one a lot.
It'd be fun if they just didn't redact one and I just had the character on it.
Right. Oops, we forgot. There is a Mr. Garson variant with a whole bunch of characters and a True Believers blind bag. And just like with the other Marvel blind bags, starting with Queen in Black #1, The covers that will be in here are exclusive to the blind bag. So if you order any of the other covers and you order a blind bag, you won't get any of those other covers in this. And I don't know what those covers are that are going to be in this, but they are not open order covers. So good on Marvel for sort of trying to fix that problem.
I almost wonder if it's going to be something like David Colton has become almost like a one-man police state where he's constantly like circling and
could be,
you know, the Avengers can't even do anything because he will immediately shoot in there because he is so powerful. I don't know, but I'm very excited about this new Age of Avengers. We already know coming after this first storyline, we're going to get a really cool Punisher story in Avengers. So get ready for a new kind of chapter of the Marvel Universe.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, next up, speaking of new chapters, we've got Absolute Cassandra Cain. So we were talking about before, this is our first Absolute one-shot focusing on a character. We've got the Arc M special. We've had the Absolute Evil one-shot, but now we are spotlighting a character, which is, I hope, the beginning of a long-term thing. Because there's a lot of extra characters, like we are getting the Absolute Black Canary coming up, but I would love to have a bunch of characters that maybe don't support a big series or whatever, but this one is going to be really cool. So it's Absolute Cassandra Cain, The Shadow's Hand. This from Che Grayson and Mateus Bergara. Spinning out from Absolute Catwoman comes the Absolute Demon's Hand. Years ago, the Joker trained with the League of Assassins, and when he learned all he could, he slaughtered everyone. But out of the wreckage of what was left came Lady Shiva and her daughter, Cassandra Cain. Learn the origin of the Absolute Universe's most formidable assassin and how her story is one that is intertwined with the world's greatest thief, Selena Kyle, Catwoman. So I wonder from this, maybe, you know, we've already seen that Joker has Batman's, you know, cave. He has his money, all that. Maybe he went around and trained, you know, on all the different places like Bruce Wayne did on the regular universe, but this time wiped him out when he was done with them. So not only are we going to get a cool Cassandra Cain thing, but I wonder if they're setting her up as like on a vengeance quest against Joker.
Against him, yeah, maybe.
Could be really cool, but I feel like this is, you know, it's like, oh, we're spotlighting a little character, but nothing in the Absolute Universe is just a throwaway thing.
Right.
Everything works towards a larger whole, and so this one I think is going to be another one that's a kind of a game changer for some of our characters. But you'll want to pre-order this. Make sure you do, because I believe this is going to sell out very, very fast. Everyone getting Absolute Batman or Catwoman are going to be picking this up.
I'm just glad to have the trade dress on this cover, because on Wednesday we didn't have it yet, and it looks a little bit plain.
A little empty.
So, right.
So we have our A cover here by Bengal. We have a Bergara variant. That's your interior artist. We have an Inyuk Lee variant.
I'm getting that one.
Yeah, that one's cool. I love his style where he's been doing these almost like statue.
I was going to say, make a statue of that.
Yep. And then we have a Derek Chu variant.
Next up, we have Exquisite Corpses Fox Mask Killer #1. This is written by Che Grayson, and the art is by Adam Gorham and Jordi Belair. And among killers for hire, there are a select few that are feared even among other assassins, and the enigmatic Fox Mask Killer is at the top of that list. But now she wants the one thing that even she can't have. She wants out of all of this. The only person who can offer her an opportunity to get away from her old life may be the devil herself. So just like the Rascal Randy miniseries that we're getting right now that gives us the origin of one of the killers from Exquisite Corpses, now we're getting this one. I don't know how many... Oh, it's 5 issues. It's going to be a 5-issue thing. And there is another one coming as well.
It's about the first guy we met, the more like military, like Punisher type guy.
Right, yeah.
That's going to be the next one after this.
Yeah, so if you're a big fan of Exquisite Corpses, and I think that is coming back for another main series too, right? And then in the middle of all that, we get these little character retrospectives, I guess. So this should be cool. So this is the Adam Gorham A cover. So that's your interior artist. There's an Annie Wu variant. There's a blank variant. There is a stealth variant. There is a Michael Walsh Witchblade team-up variant. And an Annie Wu local comic shop day variant.
And next up, we have another new one from Image. This is Ofiusa. I've been working on it, and I pronounce it correctly.
Mad Max Ofiusa Road is the name.
This is going to be a 6-issue miniseries from Gilliam March. And if you've checked out any of his other stuff, like Carmen or Laura, you know that he's got, of course, he's done stuff like Joker and Batman, and is doing like all the first couple connecting covers for the Zod storyline and the Superman books. But this is his creator-owned thing, and it's very interesting because just to set it up, he talked about, like, this isn't like hyper violent or anything like that. This is more drama, like character drama stuff, which I feel like we don't get a whole lot of sometimes in indie comics. So it says, be careful when diving into the waters of Ofiusa. And he wanted to talk about that means the island of snakes, and that title has been used for a bunch of different islands over the years, but it kind of comes with this connotation. Writer and artist Gilliam March, well known for his work on Batman, the Joker, and Catwoman, returns as a solo creator after his acclaimed Carmen in this new, edgy 6-part series. The romance between the irresistible Miranda, the young entrepreneur Joan, gets off to a flying start in another timeline. Joan meets this enigmatic Isla on a paradise island, a love triangle in which everyone is hiding something, while a dark secret from the past awaits to be revealed. With exquisite artwork that invokes paradise and a story that gradually lays bare the characters' souls, while also leaving room for fun, seduction, and the search for truth. What happens in Ofiusa stays in Ofiusa. So, very dramatic. I'm not sure what all that means with, like, another timeline. This is going to be really, really interesting. Like with Carmen, that dealt a lot with, like, death and ghosts and that kind of thing. This kind of has that, like, it's a beautiful paradise, but there's other stuff going on here. So, very excited about this. We got a bunch of cool covers. So we have our A cover by Gilliam March. We have a B cover. This is the Stars cover. There is the C cover. This is the bicycle variant. I think more things should just have a bicycle variant. There's a blank and a little bit more spicy one, if that is your flavor.
I don't get what's spicy about a big black circle, though.
No, well.
Seems fine to me.
Till you taste it.
All right, so this is Infernal Hulk versus Wolverine #1. This is written by Philip Kennedy Johnson. Obviously, the art is by Jonas Sharp and Kieran McCown. Now, this is the first of 4 different one-shots of Infernal Hulk versus blank. There's a Spider-Man one, Avengers one. I don't remember the other one. I don't remember what the other one is.
Yeah.
But there's going to be 4 of them that will go through the rest of the year. So this one starts in September. We'll have one in October, November, December. And then I believe it's January of next year is when we get the big what's it called again? Hulk War Infernal Rage, the big story that we got a little preview of in the free Comic Book Day book. So 4 different one-shots. This is the first one. When the X-Men learn the location of some mutants that have been abducted and corrupted by the Infernal Hulk, the deadliest X-Man vows to free them by the most violent means necessary. And of course, the march to Hulk War begins here as the Father of Horrors faces the Marvel Universe's perfect killing machine in Infernal Hulk versus Wolverine. So very cool. I've been loving the Infernal Hulk series. And, it's over now. With number 10 was the last issue. And then these 4 one-shots will carry us through the end of the year. So very excited for this. This is the Nick Klein. Cover. Jeez. There's a Lionel Francis Yu cover. There is a Marvel Tokon Fighting Souls variant, a Ryan Stegman cover, and a Scotty Young cover. I wish that were the fight. I'm just going to pop your arms off.
Well, next up, we have a new entry into the Marvel Mangaverse wave of books we're getting. I'm still not sure when the first one comes out. Maybe next week or so.
I think this is the 3rd one we've talked about, and the first one hasn't come out
Feels
yet.
like they should be coming out pretty soon. Yeah. But this one is Marvel Mangaverse Ghostlocke. And this is from Alyssa Wong and Michael Yig. When you seek vengeance, expect carnage. Renowned creative team Alyssa Wong and Michael Yig reunite for an explosive tale of retribution in this Marvel Mangaverse 25th anniversary special. Carnage has carved a bloody swath through humans and yokai alike as he seeks to fulfill a cataclysmic prophecy. The only thing standing in his way, the hellacious fury of a righteously pissed off Ghost Rider and her Shinigami bike. Riding hell for leather, Kawanin hunts down Cletus Cassidy as they race breakneck down the road to ruin. So, a really cool mashup of kind of the Spider Universe, the Dark Universe, and the X-Men Universe all into one in this Mangaverse special one-shot. So, very, very cool. I love the design of this, and there's some really cool variants. So, this is your A cover, and this is the Aka variant, nice. Which is very, very cool.
All right, this is Creepshow Volume 5, Number 1. I'm really excited for this because I love Creepshow. This isn't going to be any different than any of the other Creepshows we've had, but this is just the 5th volume, presumably, of 5. Yeah, it's going to be 5 issues, just like all the other volumes were. We just wrapped up, or we're about to wrap up the Creepshow, Super Creepshow.
Super Creepshow, yep.
And then this is sort of back to normal. Every issue of Creepshow is 2 self-contained, one-and-done stories that almost every issue I'm like, I can't believe that they just did that. So this is just the next issue in the next volume. We have 2 stories. The first one is from Tyler Boss and Francesca Sarija. They will give you a show that you'll never forget when tensions and body parts are stretched too thin between clown colleagues. And then Lorenzo De Felici has a story that will pique your curiosity when a mysterious object from space begins to wipe out humanity. Can the last surviving astronaut trace its origins? So, I don't know. I love Creepshow. This is one of the books that I don't mind reading month to month because it's like, oh, every month you just get a couple cool new stories. It's really fun. So this is your Kyle Hotz A cover. There's a Francesca Sarija cover, so that's one of your interior artists, and a Luciano Vecchio cover.
Very cool. And next up, we have our next and what I believe is the final installment of the Clive Barker's Hellraiser Resurrections one-shots. It does say here that these 5 one-shots are setting up the launch of a new Hellraiser ongoing series coming to shelves this winter. I couldn't remember if it was a miniseries or ongoing, but we're getting an ongoing. And this one is The Return of the Priest. So this is from Sarah Gailey and Alessio Avalon. Uncover the hellbound history of Pinhead, Clive Barker's most infamous creation. He's lived so many lives, he's died so many deaths. Does it ever end? Is there peace or only endless war? He's lived with so many names: the Hell Priest, the Acolyte, the Cold Man, and the one that has always plagued him, Pinhead. Caught in the sensory deprivation of middle hell, Elliot Spencer suffers the worst fate, no feeling at all. No pain, no pleasure, just unending consciousness. When the glory of Leviathan's light finally sears through him, granting him the gift of pain, it's revelatory. The Hell Priest must journey to remake himself and gather his gash once more to bring the cherished blessing of pain to all that deserve it. After all, there is a calling telling him the way. Know that he is the way. So this is explore the ecstatic depths of sensation in this stage setting one shot. So it also sounds like these do lead into that new ongoing. If you are a Hellraiser fan, it's been a while since there's been comics. There's been one shots and stuff, but never anything this substantial. So I think this is going to be very, very cool.
This all feels very MCU Phase 1.
Yeah.
Because we've had 5 different one-shots with 5 different, Cenobites?
Yeah.
Cinnabons, and now, and they're all leading into this one brand new book where I guess they'll be all there together, I'm assuming, so...
I just wish there was one variant cover for number 1 that has him pointing and saying Cenobites assemble, yeah. And then they're all running behind him. Please let that happen.
You can draw that if there's not one. If there's a blank cover, you can draw that on the blank cover.
Yeah. I think it's needed, honestly. Yeah. So we've got our A cover here by Howard. We have a Sabatini variant. There is a red blank sketch variant and a FOC reveal variant by Olivetti.
All right, next up we have the Lycan number 1. This is going to be a 3-issue series. This is from Mike Carey, Thomas Jane, and David James Kelly.
Hey, that's Punisher.
Yeah, and the art is by Diego Yapur. Now, this is not technically new. This is the physical version of a Comixology original book. But this one's pretty cool because this was one of the Will Eisner nominees for Best Digital Comic. And yeah, it was originally on Comixology Originals, and now the physical version is going to be published by Ablaze. This is set in the year 1777, and there's a hardened band of international big game hunters who are returning from Africa, and they're shipwrecked off a small British island. And so in exchange for some new supplies and for getting their ship repaired, Lord Ludgate, who is sort of the lord of the village that they wash up on, he engages the men for a task that they're particularly well suited for: find the berserking beasts that have been eating his subjects and destroy them. So you go kill these monsters for me, and I'll fix your ship and give you supplies and stuff for you. So that should be really cool. So yeah, this is gonna be 3 issues, and I'm into these, like, sort of like gothic, like, horror stories. And this is the only cover.
Well, next up, we have issue number 5 of Absolute Green Arrow, and hopefully we're going to learn soon the identity of this Arrow killer. But
I wonder if it's here, because the mask is off.
The mask is off. Maybe it gets punched off.
Right.
Who knows? It says, who will be sacrificed at the mercy of Hector Hammond? Black Canary and the Green Arrow Killer finally bear witness to the deprived horrors Hammond has been hiding. But when a horrible sacrifice evens the odds, will Dinah have traded one threat for an even more terrifying danger? So, looks like we maybe have Solomon Grundy's footprint or something else, but they've been doing some pretty nasty stuff. Hector Hammond's been behind a lot of experimentations and multi-armed men and all that kind of thing. So, I don't know. Does that have anything to do with this Arrow Killer? Why is he going after him? We don't know yet, but I'm very excited to learn. So, we've got our A cover here. We have a Perel cover. We have a Sebastian Fumiara cover and a Mirka Indolfo cover.
Nice, I like that one.
With the circles almost... it's Black Canary, but also maybe Count Vertigo or something.
Oh, yeah, maybe. Or maybe it's just a design.
Maybe it's a design.
All right, we have Gambit Gone, number 1. This is a new... I believe this is a miniseries. This is written by Steve Orlando, and the art is by Eduardo Iodino and Gerardo Sandoval. And this is spinning directly out of the shocking conclusion of X-Men of Apocalypse Omega, which that series had some delays, but I believe it's all finished now. In 2 intertwined tales, Remy LeBeau will face his demons and the demons of all mutant kind in a story which will see the limits of the reformed Gambit pushed to their breaking point. What kind of man, what kind of husband, what kind of hero will emerge? And that was one of the big things in X-Men of Apocalypse. I believe Gambit came over from the Age of Apocalypse universe, but the 616 Gambit was still around too, I think. So, if I remember correctly. So there was 2 Gambits at the same time, and now it sounds like this is going to be more of that. This is the A cover. There's an Aiko variant and a Russell Dodderman variant.
Very cool. Well, next up, we have Space Ghost versus the Herculoids, number 1.
Nice.
So, this is from David Pepos and Jonathan Lau. It says the universe's most heroic families collide in Space Ghost versus the Herculoids. When Space Ghost and the twins stop a brutal hijacking of a Federation cruiser, they discover a new arms race involving a rare mineral known as quercerite. But when the Federation invades the hidden planet of Amzot to retrieve it, they'll trigger the unspeakable tragedy that will put the intergalactic barbarian Xandor and the Herculoids on a harrowing quest for revenge. With civilians caught in the crossfire, can Space Ghost and company stop the Herculoids' attack before they reach the heart of the Federation? And what dark machinations lie ahead for the Federation's chief prison warden, the evil Collector, and his robotic servant Mechano, in the showdown of the century that will set the stage for Space Ghost's next adventure? So this is like still in continuity with the Space Ghost series, just gonna be a little crossover with Herculoids for a little while. So very cool. We've got our A cover here by Matina. We have a Drew Moss cover. We have a Linsner cover, a Bjorn Berens cover, and a Tom Rainey cover.
Next up, we have Shift. Now, this is a one-shot that's very much the same kind of thing as the Foundations book. This is from Jonathan Hickman and Nick Spencer. The art is by Mike Del Mundo. And this is part of the whole 3 Worlds, 3 Moons universe that they've got going on. So this is related to that Foundations, that big prestige size one-shot, basically, that came out. And just let me read this, because there's a lot, Jonathan Hickman is always very cerebral, so I'll just read this to you. This is set generations before the current science cycle, in a time when magic is at its peak and Chaoso is thriving. Sig the White Heart eschews the wishes of his family and the will of the Academy. And we've heard a lot of that, right?
Yeah,
magic
like
in
the magic has been kind of like outlawed, and then kind of like, oh, it never existed, or that wasn't a real thing, and the Academy was like, now it's a kind of like another thing we don't talk about, and so this is cool that it's like
before all of that. So that helps me sort of reconcile a bit, because again, this is Sig the White Heart eschews the wishes of his family and the will of the Academy, so he doesn't want all this science stuff, he wants magic, I guess. And he hitches a ride on a Bojoganto to the center of the universe, Akva, A-K-V-A, Akva, to understand the cause behind what he believes to be the inevitable collapse of the universe as he knows it. Accompanied by his lifelong friend, an accused heretic named Marcus, the two set out to unlock the secrets of life and stop the world's collapse. At the same time, there are forces set out to bring about the inevitable change and reawaken the god machine of Ordo, thereby kickstarting the beginning of the next science cycle and the downfall of magic. So this
is a prequel.
This feeds into Foundations, I guess. Yeah, a prequel is exactly what it sounds like. Will Sig and Marcus be able to complete their mission, or will their time be cut short by the next cosmic shift? And just like the other one, it's presented in a prestige magazine-sized format, showcasing stunning artwork from some of the leading creators in comics. So, if you liked Foundations, I enjoyed it, but man, it was a lot.
It's a lore dump.
Yeah, it's a lore dump. There's a lot of names, and just like what I read here, there's a lot of words that right now don't mean anything until we get into the story.
I always think that's funny. In like solicitations, they'll put all these big words. You're like, I don't know what any of these things mean yet, so you can't really wow me if I don't know what you're talking about.
The god machine of Ordo, the center of the universe, Akva. Come on, man, you know this. So yeah, here's the next, I guess, chapter of this big new universe. And this is the only cover.
Well, we got to talk about this at the top of the show rather than at the graphic novels, because the Dungeon Crawler Carl Volume 2, but this is the local comic shop day 2026 early release direct market exclusive.
That's a lot. But
yeah, so if you want to get it before anyone else, it's here for local comic shop day, which is on September 26th. It'll be available. But what's this one all about? Well, new achievement. You can read. The fact that you're coming back for Volume 2 suggests you read Volume 1. Good for you. Or maybe you only looked at it, all the pretty pictures. Reward. Pop quiz. If you don't buy Volume 3, next, you fail. The Goblin Copper Chopper is born. Atop their new set of wheels, Carl and Princess Donut ignite an all-out meth war between the goblins and the llamas. But more floors await. Volume 2 of the New York Times, USA Today, a Publisher's Weekly best-selling graphic novel adaptation of Dungeon Crawler Carl by Matt Denneman. You know what's worse than breaking up with your girlfriend? Getting stuck on a sadistic alien game show with her cat.
If I didn't know anything about this, and I still don't know much because I haven't read it yet, but if I didn't know anything about this, I would just say you just read a bunch of Mad Libs.
Well, the meth is inside the llamas, actually.
It makes sense.
But yes. So, yeah, I'm very excited about this. I've withheld from reading the digital version of this and catching up, because I really like having the physical version of these. So I can't wait for Volume 2. I just want to see, like, representations of a lot of the stuff I read, because even in the first one, just seeing what the hallways look like and everything, I was like, oh, that's a little different than I thought. So that's always really fun.
And like you said, this is the local comic shop day version, which comes out on the 26th, which is a Saturday.
Yes.
Local comic shop day is Saturday, so this isn't going to be a regular Wednesday release. But I would say with it being, early release, exclusive to that day, exclusive to comic shops, please pre-order this and just go ahead and get your name on it now, and then if you can't get by on Saturday, no worries. It'll be there the next Wednesday or whatever.
Yes.
Oh, that was it?
That was it.
Yep. All right. Let's see. This is Hillbilly, the Treason of 12-Toe Maggie. Number 1. Sounds really fun. So this is written and drawn by Eric Powell of the Goon fame. The hit Hillbilly comic series returns in the brand new story arc. There are many tales of Rondell, the wandering hillbilly. This is but one of them. Some years after the Great Witch War, Rondell, in order to save an old friend, finds himself in an uncomfortable situation in the service of his former captor, 12-Toe Maggie. Will he break the magical tie that binds him to the 12-toed witch, or will the wielder of the Devil's Cleaver be at her service forever? Rondell, the wandering hillbilly, returns in a tale set years after the Great Witch War, and it says it's a perfect jumping-on point for new readers. I didn't even know this was a thing. I've never heard of the hillbilly saga before. Do you know about this?
Yeah, it's Eric Powell's kind of other thing that's not related to the Goon, but it's its own kind of separate universe.
So is it called Hillbilly? And then there's like Hillbilly : whatever?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I need one of those little flags here that says like, hey, you just mentioned my family and all the people that live around me.
Yeah.
Of course, we live in Tennessee. So this is... I saw both of these people when I went to Walmart the other day.
Wow. Well, so I definitely need to read it then, so I can be like, hey, that guy he's my neighbor. So this is the Eric Powell A cover, and there is a Becky Cloonan cover.
Very cool. It's very like Eric Powell does a lot of stuff that is reminiscent also of kind of Hellboy and how Hellboy's structured.
Okay.
So you can kind of think of it that way.
That helps. I always use Hellboy. I think of Hellboy a lot when I think of just stories that aren't necessarily set, chronologically or whatever. You can just read a story and have fun with it.
Yep. Well, next up we have big event check-in, and even though these aren't like events, like this isn't a big line-wide thing, these are still big crossovers, and we're gonna kick it off with Batwoman number 7, which is part of the Bad Seeds storyline. So if you see in the corner it says week 4 part 1.
Yeah.
That's part 1 of the Batwoman part of this. It's not like part 1 is Batwoman, part 2 is Detective Comics. That's just keeping track of within this series where they all have 2 parts associated. So don't feel like, oh no, there's 1 and there's going to be 10 of them. No, it's not that.
Yeah, because we definitely want to stress again, you don't have to buy them all, just whichever characters you want to read about. It's not a part 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 thing. It's just pick whichever characters and have fun.
Especially this, because like if you're just reading Batwoman, this is the next issue of Batwoman.
Yes.
So it was supposed to be a quick return trip before heading back to Greece, but with Batwoman now seen as a cold-blooded killer in the public eye, Commissioner Savage declaring open season on anyone who wears the bat, and Poison Ivy's urban renewal initiative sprouting chaos in the streets, it's going to be a long night, especially when Batman reaches out with a mission to get comms back up between the heroes. Maybe she should have watered her plants before she left. So yeah, another really cool sounding issue of Batwoman. This time it's cool to see her head back to Gotham for a little bit, at least for 2 issues. But yeah, Batwoman's been a great series so far, and I'm looking forward to this one.
We do know that she will be going back to Greece after this 2-part thing, so I guess issue 9. So for those who are enjoying Batwoman in Greece doing things, you'll get more of that when these 2 are done.
Yep. So we've got our A cover here. We've got our Sajik cover, which I've already pre-ordered this one. We've got a Javier Fernandez cover. And a Dan Panosian Bad Seed spot foil variant. And he is doing one of these for what seems like each of the Bad Seeds books. So tuck in, because these are going to be really cool.
Yeah, and it sucks because I've been getting the 7 Sajik covers for all the rest of this series, and I want to keep that going, but I like all the other ones as well, but I also don't want to buy them all. So. And
also, this is spot foil.
I know.
Watch out, Marvel. DC's got that spot foil now.
Well, if you want to read about what Catwoman's doing during this Bad Seed story, you have Catwoman number 91 here. With the city in disarray, Catwoman sets out to make the best of the situation and do the one thing absolutely no one else would dare: break into Vandal Savage's home. I want to read that story. I haven't been reading this series, but that sounds like an awesome piece of this overall Bad Seed story. So if you want to read about that, you do not have to read this to read the whole to understand the overall story, but if you want to read about Catwoman breaking into Vandal Savage's home, pick this up. And I just think it's cool. Like, this whole thing is going to last for 2 months. Each book, again, is 2 issues. 2 issues of Catwoman, 2 Nightwings, 2 Batmans, 2 Batwoman's, whatever. But it all takes place in one night, which I still think is very fun. So this is the A cover. Oh, there's a bunch. There's a Marcio Takara cover. There's a Charlie Adlard cover. There is a Chloe Brailsford variant and a Dan Panosian spot foil variant. Good grief. And they all sort of like have the same kind of feel, too. Yeah. So
I don't know. It doesn't say connecting, but it almost looks like they would connect.
Maybe, but oh my gosh, that just looks cool.
Yeah.
I'll have to get those.
And next up, we've got Detective Comics issue 1113. So, Tom Taylor and superstar guest artist Jeff Spokes continue Batman's journey through the epic Bad Seeds event. Spores, vines, and the lumbering Floronic monsters have invaded the Dark Knight City. Now, as chaos runs rampant in the streets Batman has sworn to protect, Batman finds that Vandal Savage and his Tuco squads may prove even more deadly than the prehistoric flora that has taken the city for its own. Can Batman save Gotham from this lethal convergence of human, evil, and verdant violence before it's too late? Find out in this can't-miss issue that continues directly where Batman 13 leaves off. So this one does sound like maybe it's a little bit more attached to the Batman story, but it is a different writer, so I feel like yes and no.
Yeah. Well, Batman and Detective Comics, they go hand in hand quite often, but again, it's not Batman, Detective, Batwoman, Catwoman, Nightwing. It's not like that.
But also this is interesting, also featuring a backup story showcasing the winning villain design from the Building Bad sweepstakes. I didn't know anything about the Building Bad sweepstakes or who won it and what the design was, but
it says that, is that it down there?
Including
new villain Rhetoric.
So, okay, sure.
Yeah.
We'll check that out. But yeah, this is it's part 2 of the Detective Comics part. Or maybe it's part 2 and Batman's part 1?
Maybe.
I'm not sure. More to come as we get news of it. So this is your A cover. There's a Dan Mora cover. There's a Paulo Pantanella cover. Pantalina?
Mm-hmm.
I knew that and just read it backwards. And a Dan Panosian Bad Seeds spot foil variant.
They're so cool. And we have Nightwing number 142. When Gotham is struck by a terraforming disaster, which is what the whole thing is about, the downwind city of Bloodhaven falls victim to unanticipated side effects. After a truck full of TNT is stolen from a Bloodhaven construction yard, Nightwing learns it's headed towards Gotham as a form of righteous vengeance for everything the city has done to Bloodhaven, and only he might be fast enough to stop it before things get explosive. Now, I did notice that on the cover this is part 4, so...
But, like, 2 of them say part 1 and stuff.
For week 4?
I thought both Catwoman and Batwoman, I thought both said part 1. So I'm not sure how this is working out week and part.
Yeah. I would still say just get whichever ones you want.
Yeah.
And if you get to the end and it says to be continued in whatever other book, just grab that one too. But I remember being on a call with DC and they were telling us about this event, and they did say that this is not like it's in all the books, but they did tell us that you don't have to buy all of them, so that's what we've been basing our information on is what they told us, so, and it doesn't seem like some of these, like Nightwing doesn't sound like it has anything to do with Detective Comics, except for the fact that there's plants everywhere, right? So it is a little bit confusing, and as these come out, we will, on our Monday preview videos, we will definitely let you know, because we will read all of these, but it is a little confusing, but again, I still don't think you have to buy them all.
We're
just
only
buy
human.
whichever ones you
We're
want.
just going by the information
right.
we know.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. Anyway, so this is the Jorge Fornes cover. There's a Jerome Opeña cover, a Gerald Perel cover, and a Dan Panosian spot foil variant.
Well, next up, switching gears to Kingdom of Zod. This is part 7 of Kingdom of Zod with Superman Unlimited number 17. I just really like Superman with a beard. I think he looks very cool and very much like a super dad.
Mm-hmm.
So, Super Sacrifice. Ever since Superman saved the world from the Kryptonite asteroid, he's had a new power to absorb Kryptonite's deadly radiation. Will his new power be enough to stop Zod's plan? But what is the cost this time? Superboy Prime, Connor Kent, and Tomorrow Man must work together to hold off Zod's army so Superman can save the world. Sounds like maybe the big fight between Superman and Zod is going on in the Superman book, and I think this is like the super family kind of like making sure nothing gets in the way of their super fight. I did see in the solicitations of Superman Unlimited, it might be for the next issue, Tomorrow Man has a different costume. He's got the mouth is cut out. And stuff. Okay. So might see a little shake up in designs and stuff after this. But we've got your A cover here. We have the Viken Marion cover, which is very cool. We have the Riccardi cover. And we have the Mark Spears cover.
Still got the mouth on that one.
Yep. The mouth on that boy.
Yeah.
Next up, we have more Essential Comics.
Including Spider-Man, Hulk, Fire, and Brimstone #2. #1 came out this week. And it was pretty interesting after you get past the 6 pages worth of puns. It gets to a pretty interesting story because Bruce Banner digs deep for an exploration of his spiritual side. And there was a lot of talk about that in the first issue about how he's maybe finding religion as a possible cure to the Hulk problem. But before he can cry out hallelujah, Spider-Man will have to put a stop to the second greatest disaster to hit Broadway, The White Rabbit. And it says it's guest starring Old Hornhead himself, Daredevil. And we saw Matt Murdock in the first issue, but he wasn't Daredevil, so I wonder if he'll be suiting up for this. But yeah, some fun action, some good artwork. So, you know, if you read all 3 other Spider-Man, Hulk, Punisher books and want a 4th one, then grab this too. This is the A cover. There's an Alex Ross Timeless variant with Mockingbird, a Greg Land variant, and a Marvel Took-On Fighting Souls variant with a really cool looking Green Goblin.
Yeah. Well, next up we have Miles Morales Spider-Man #2. We both love #1 of this, like so much so is kind of our pick of the week. I don't know if it was kind of tied with something, but it was really high up there.
To the point where I did not pre-order it and I bought it off the shelf after I had read it because I was like, I like that, I want to have it, and I bought it after.
Yeah, I want to support that. Yeah. So, Sins of the Father, enter Grendel. So I guess that's the name of that big villain.
Yeah, Matt Wagner character from from Dark
crossover, who kind of also looks like Miles' suit. A super villain from Jeff Morales' past who will stop at nothing to have his revenge against the former S.H.I.E.L.D. agent. But their seemingly perfect plan didn't count on Spider-Man. But how can Miles Morales fight an enemy who has a counter for every move and power? What tragic events led to Grendel's fall, and what does Miles' dad have to do with it? So we saw a bit of that in the first one. Maybe that he's to blame for something.
Wait, Grendel is the guy from the first issue? Is that his name?
Yeah, I guess that's revealed here because he never said his name.
Oh, okay.
In it.
I like that guy. He had a cool design and cool looking powers. I didn't know his name was Grendel.
Well, he's like a big Viking guy, so that makes sense. He would be Grendel. Yeah. But so I'm looking forward to issue #2 of this. We've got our A cover here. We have a Kafu variant. We have a Nico Leon Token Fighting Souls battle variant, where they're actually playing
the game, right?
We have a Sarah Pacelli variant, and this great one, a Torrin Clark Muppets variant.
Okay, this is Thor #801. So we mentioned this on Monday, that Mortal Thor, and I think the whole time it's supposed to have just been called Thor, but it said Mortal Thor. Well, this week is the release of Thor or Mortal Thor Legacy #800. And now, with this issue, it's going back to its legacy numbering just as the number. So, and it's dropping the Mortal title as well. So now this is just Thor #801. The quest for Thor begins. Sigurd Jarlsson is an ordinary man, but he alone can call Asgard's greatest hero back to life. But to rebuild the bridge between humanity and the gods, he must begin his quest in the worst place of all. Somewhere in hell, a man with a hammer begins a journey into mystery. That sounds awesome. I've been so loving this series, and now it's like it's going to open up into a big epic story where I guess at the end of it all, we'll get the regular Thor back, but I also don't want to lose Sigurd Jarlsson because he's such a fun character, so cannot wait to check this out. So this is the A cover. There's an Alex Ross Timeless variant. That's a great Hercules. A Ben Sue Pixar 40th anniversary variant. There is a there is a Marvel Token Fighting Souls variant. And a Stephen Platt variant. That looks awesome. It's just a regular variant, but if they had said spot foil, I would have bought that so quick.
Well, next up, we have Adventure Time Halloween special. So we're getting into some of our spooky specials. Even though some of these books come out in November and some of these come out before, we've got another Halloween special. So it says, Boo from the Land of Ooh. Adventure Time's first ever Halloween special is here from the writer Jeremy Malal from Dungeon Masters Guild and rising star Adam Seitz. Noble heroes Finn and Jake enter the trickiest situation yet in this spooky-sized 48-page special that's definitely a treat. After signing up for a quest from the Adventurers Guild without reading the fine print, Finn and Jake find themselves in a new dungeon, turning into some of its monstrous inhabitants, stuck in strange bodies, fighting familiar faces, and attempting to get to the bottom of this mysterious place. Can our dynamic duo best this unearthly dungeon, or will they fall victim to the monsters within and within themselves? So, I know there is a lot of Adventure Time fans, and this sounds like a really fun one-shot.
This comes out on September 30th, so just wait a day. and then read it, and you'll be in October.
Yeah. So we've got our A cover here. There's a Morales cover. And a Violet Tobacco cover.
Okay.
Oh, there's the Baba Yaga in her house. Her witch-footed house.
Oh, yeah. Weird. All right, we have Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, The Hunger. This is a one-shot. It's written by Pally Paul Allure, and the art is by Gavin Smith. As the dead return in The City That Never Dies, which I believe is an upcoming story arc, I think, an old enemy resurfaces. Hun, H-U-N, who is Casey Jones's abusive father, was always quick to anger, and his time in the afterlife has done little to mellow him. Back from the dead, he seeks to reclaim his position as the leader of the Purple Dragons, and the only ones who can stop him are two recent returns from the Battle Nexus, Slash and Ninjara. So if you're reading Ninja Turtles and you're reading The Hunger, and I see the H-U-N is in green, but if you're reading that story arc, this is a one-shot that runs parallel to that.
And it's cool to bring in some characters from Battle Nexus.
Yeah, very neat. So this is the A cover. There is a Madden cover and a Chamba cover.
Ooh, that one's cool. Well, next up, let me scroll over because this is the back cover. We have... it jumped back.
There it is.
We have the Joe Kubert 100 Years of a Life in Covers one shot. This is actually just going to be a collection of famous Joe Kubert covers celebrating what would be his 100th birthday.
Wow.
And I just think this is really cool. Joe Kubert's of course, famous for so many different things like Sergeant Rock here. So yeah, if you are a fan of like art books, I think this is going to be really, really cool. And there's two covers. So we have our A cover here, of course, by Kubert. And we have this really cool foil cover by Kubert of Superman. So, yep, just celebrating Joe Kubert and all his cool art.
I kind of like Superman with an army jacket.
Yeah,
Superman
something works about that.
Yeah, Superman joins the army in The Soldier of Steel. I want to read that story.
Yeah. Well, next up we have continuing stories.
Starting with Punisher vs. Spider-Man number 3. Number 2 came out this week. We didn't get a chance to read it, but this is the series that takes place just after Punisher's first appearance in Amazing Spider-Man 129. And in this one, it just says to recall now the earlier days of the Marvel Universe when battle lines were still being drawn and Frank Castle and Spider-Man were that much earlier in their crime-fighting careers. They still don't really know each other all that well yet in this series. Younger, leaner, and meaner, the Punisher intends to rid the city streets of the criminal element, but when Frank's lethal sensibilities clash with Spider-Man's sense of responsibility, the stage is set for an explosive confrontation that will set the tone of their relationship for years to come. So that's not really very descriptive of what this issue specifically is going to be about. That's just more an overview of the series. But it looks like Rhino may be part of this, and I'm all for that. So this is the A cover. There's an Eric Larson cover and a Mark Bagley cover.
And next up, we have Star Wars The Book of Boba Fett number 2. Of course, this is each issue represents an episode of the show. It's taken a while for this to come out, but it's cool it is. In this one, Boba Fett attempts to safeguard a fragile peace with the other syndicates while remembering his grueling recovery and training with the Tusken Raiders. So episode 2 of The Book of Boba Fett being adapted into comics. And we've got some cool covers for this one. So this is your A cover, which is Phil Noto. We have a Casanovas variant. And we have a Rod Rice cover.
Next, we have Spectacular Spider-Man Brand New Day number 5. This is the end of this first story arc, but we now know that it has been extended supposedly to an ongoing. We'll reevaluate that.
Everything's an ongoing until it's not.
Until it hits issue 10. Yeah. So we'll reevaluate that in a few months, but happy to hear that there is at least going to be more for a while anyway. And it just says that Spidey must save the Punisher. And of course we know that. Punisher is, well, wait a minute. You already saved the Punisher. But maybe Punisher will get into a precarious situation again. Can Spider-Man free the Punisher from Mr. Negative's control?
Yes.
I feel very confident that he can. He better, or the entire city is doomed. Well,
it's not.
Yeah, it's not going to be. So maybe this was written before. I don't know. Because we already know all what happens from the previous issue. But yeah, I've been really enjoying the series even more than regular Amazing Spider-Man. It's been a lot of fun.
And I'm very excited, like you said, of the next story arc.
Yep.
That's going to be really cool.
Yeah. So this is the A cover. There's a Federico Vincentini variant and a Marvel Tokon Fighting Souls variant.
And next up, we have Absolute Flash number 19. You can see what I believe is Abracadabra that was brought in the last issue, but he's a very scary version of that. It says Central City overrun with horrors. Wally West is plagued by 2 threats terrorizing Central City. This young speedster will need to learn how to be in 2 places at once if he's going to save his newfound city and family. So yeah, that is Hunter Zolomon and what I believe is Abracadabra, pulling a deep cut Flash villain in this one. Very creepy, but very, very cool. And I really like the last issue. I hope that we see more of Ralph and Sue Dibney after what happened in this last one. But I'll let you read that to see what happened. We've got our A cover here. We have a Dennis Cowan. I guess it's a wraparound, which is pretty cool. We've got a Steve Skroce variant and a Seth Mann variant.
We have Dark Knights of Steel 2, number 3, with the House of L's Queen, Crown Prince, and Princess bedridden. And we saw that in the second issue. Lois of Amazonia has been jailed. The Amazons have been expelled, and the threat beneath the waves growing with each passing day. We saw all that in the second issue. Amanda Waller has everything to gain as she assumes emergency control of the Kingdom of El. We saw that in the second issue as well. Harley Quinn, who is the El's advisor, must recruit to her cause a young Barbara Gordon for the aid of her visions, and Dick Grayson, who's just about the only person who might stand a chance of finding the missing Prince Bruce. But even as our heroes gather in secret, they're about to discover that there isn't much a power-hungry Waller wouldn't do to cement her reign. And that's what I think is wildly interesting, is it just feels very Game of Thrones with lots of backstabbing and people vying for positions of power and taking out other people and stabbing people in the back, but it's with DC superheroes. So it's very cool. I'm loving this. This is the Yasmin Putri A cover. There's a Travis Moore cover, a Marguerite Sauvage cover, and a Gerald Perel cover.
Well, next up, we have Lobo number 7. And this is really funny. This is The Last Death of Lobo part 1 of... question mark. The road to the last death of Lobo starts here. The day you never thought would come again has come again. Beloved by many, recognized universally as that wrestler guy, Mr. Kiss, Pagliacci, or DC's most spacefaring antihero, the man of Maine is about to meet his match and his mortality. Do not miss a single chapter of this multi-part magnum opus and the revelation of the unstoppable force that will totally, permanently kill Fraggin' Lobo of all people. Direct request for special variants to DC sales, blah, blah, blah. All that. It says direct request for interviews with the creative team to DC Communications and Promotions, direct complaints and outrage to my butt. So, really fun here. It's almost like this is part 1 of, it could just be 1 issue or it could be 10. Who knows? But I'm loving this series. We've got Jorge Corona back on art here. So very, very fun. We've got our A cover. We have a Dave Johnson cover. We have a Villalobos variant. And we have a Raza variant as well.
We have Deathstroke the Terminator number 7. After the shocking events of the previous issue, which came out this week, Slade's ex Adeline has taken on a new role. Witness her climb through the ranks of the army to become the unstoppable killer she is today. Does the DCU stand a chance once caught in her crosshair? So basically, she's taking on the role of Deathstroke, and I think this is going to be like an issue all about her past, almost like a Adeline year one, if you will, just to sort of show how she came up to where she is now. And then it's going to get crazy as the next few issues roll in, Deathstroke versus her, and what did each of them do. So I can't wait for this. This is the Carmine Giandomenico cover. There's a Mitch Gerads cover and a Tony Fleecs cover.
And next up, we have New Titans, issue number 39. So this last issue, we saw Static join the team, but wasn't there long before we are jumping into a new story with Yara Flor. The Titans are not welcome in Acumen. When the Amazons of Exquisite come calling for their Wonder Girl's aid, Yara Flor and her teammates set the course for the forests of Brazil and the hidden city of Acumen, where they find a land ravaged by fire and raging spirits. But who is responsible? The Titans are here to help, but the Amazons aren't quite so eager to accept help from outsiders. So yeah, getting right into the next story arc here. And I like that it's focusing on Yara Flor because it's been a while since we've had her in the forefront. So we've got our A cover here, and we have a Kevin Wada variant.
We have G.I. Joe number 26. The epic battle between G.I. Joe and Night Force takes a dangerous turn as a new Joe enters the fight. Can Baroness's secret mission stop the war? This is part 2 of the G.I. Joe versus Night Force story that's going to run for 5 issues, I think. So number 25 was fantastic, and this is just the next part. We have this Tom Riley A cover. There's a Jerome Opeña and Niraj Menon cover. I like that a lot. And an In-Hyuk Lee cover. That's great, too.
Yeah.
I like them together. That one issue where they teamed up, that was really fun, yeah.
Well, next up, we have Hello Kitty and Friends Hello World, issue number 2. The unthinkable has happened in Hello Kitty's world. A bow is missing. Everything was supposed to be perfect. Hello Kitty had fun with her friends, cooked a gorgeous dinner, and was ready to present the most amazing present to downtrodden cinema roll. Until My Melody burst in the door sobbing, her iconic bow is missing, and now more and more accessories have begun to disappear, leaving the residents of the town in a tizzy. Now it's up to Hello Kitty to follow the clues and find out what is happening with her friends before everyone loses their most valuable things. So issue number 1 of this was actually really fun, and it kind of sets up Hello Kitty having a true crime podcast as she narrates this whole thing. Number 1 sold really well, and I liked it. So here is issue number 2. There's your A cover, and there is a Sahid variant, which is very nice. But also, along the same line, Regicide, issue number 2. I told you that character looks a lot like Doom. So not a whole lot about this issue, but it says the darkness takes form. Something is following our travelers. A shadow hangs over them, takes the shape of a woman, and strikes. So, as we see this character and our main character going to stop the leader of whatever land this is they're in, meeting a lot of hindrances along the way, like bandits or a woman who is also part centipede. Sounds like something else this time. So we've got our A cover here. We have a Curb Crawler Ghost polybagged variant. We have an Adam Cyber polybagged variant. We have an S2 variant. And a Witchblade team-up variant from Aquila Gabriel. And next up, we got some cool covers.
Starting with Batman Superman World's Finest, number 55. This is the Tar and Clark variant, and we also have a Tar and Clark foil variant as well with Talia al Ghul. This story arc starts here. It's going to be all about Ra's al Ghul, Talia al Ghul. That's going to be cool. We also have DC and Sonic the Hedgehog Metal Legion number 5, the Serge Acuna variant.
I just think Big the Cat looks horrifying on this cover. But Aquaman Seahorse looks pretty rad. Next up, we have Wonder Woman 37. This is our David Nakayama cover. There's a Keong Eom cover and an Asrar cover. We have
Generation X23 number 8. This is the Davi Go variant. And then we have Wolverine number 28, the Diatzel Pazar cover, and a Terry Dodson Muppets cover.
With Sweetums. Next up, we have Die Loaded, number 9. This is the Casper Wingard Witchblade team-up variant, so of course you're seeing a lot of these. We also have Witchblade, number 25, the B cover by Michael Turner. So, pulled from the vaults, a Michael Turner, a black and white cover. And there is the cover C by the Pat Boughton and Steve Fairchild connecting Witchblade team-up variant. So, who does Witchblade team up with on her book? Witchblade.
We have Mighty Morphin Power Rangers number 4, the Sevi cover. And Godzilla number 13, Glow in the Dark Gonzo cover.
That's really cool. I know someone who's collecting pretty much any cover Gonzo does.
Nice.
His characters always have like those flower eyes.
Yeah.
It's very, very cool. And next up we have Bookshelf, some cool collected stuff to talk about. Starting off with Crisis on Infinite Earths, the DC Compact Comics version. I believe this just collects the main Crisis book and none of like the tie-ins or anything. I kind of want to see what this looks like so small. It may be kind of overwhelming to see what probably should be seen at double or triple the size of a normal comic. But I love Crisis, and another great addition to the Compact Comics for only $9.99.
I've already pre-ordered this. I have Crisis in like 4 or 5 other editions, Absolute and DC Finest and all that stuff, but I love Crisis, so I figured might as well just add this one to it.
Just get it in descending scale.
Right, yeah. Let's see. Sorry, we also have Robin and Batman, Jason Todd, the trade paperback. This is going to be $17.99, and it collects the 3-issue Robin and Batman, Jason Todd miniseries from about a year and a half ago or so, maybe a couple years by now, but just kind of telling a story about the early days of Jason Todd and Batman's working relationship.
Yeah, it's very similar to the Batman and Robin Year 1, the Mark Waid book, but now this is the Jason Todd kind of early years.
Because there was Robin and Batman originally, which was Dick Grayson, and I really like that one. The Jason Todd book was interesting because, they've always kind of butted heads, and this sort of exemplifies that.
Well, next up we have our first volume of Excommunicated. So it didn't say how many issues this collects, probably 5. But it is volume 1, so it does sound like this is going to continue after that. So you can get the whole first volume for $19.99, and this is a very good series.
I'm really excited about this.
Yeah.
This is Afterlife with Archie, the deluxe hardcover edition. So this is going to be $39.99, and it collects Afterlife with Archie numbers 1 through 10. Numbers 6 through 10 have never been collected. There is a trade paperback of 1 through 5, but 6 through 10, if you wanted those, you just had to get the single issue. So now the entire thing is in one big hardcover. It's coming out on October 27th, so it's perfect to read for Halloween. I have read the first 5. I don't think I read the 6 through 10. I think I bought those digitally, but I read the first 5 though. This is such a fun story because it's Archie and the gang in Riverdale, but a zombie apocalypse happens and they have to try to survive.
Francavilla on art is incredible, and this always gets me because I was buying this series as it came out. I love this series, and issue number 10 is my favorite issue, which changes the you're not following Archie, you're following Sabrina as she gets captured and is going to be sacrificed to Cthulhu. And it's like, why did it have to stop right there? Like, this is a super interesting story. This is fantastic. It is a little sad that it's not really complete. Like, they don't really wrap up a whole lot of stuff in it, but definitely worth picking up, especially now, because I've had that volume 1 forever. And it's crazy that the other ones haven't been collected. So this is very much wanted and needed.
Yeah, this is one of my favorite zombie stories. I love reading this in October. I can't wait for this.
Yep, and only $34.99.
Oh, $34.99. I wrote down $39.99, so it's even cheaper.
Yeah,
it's already on sale for $5.
That's so nice of you to give everybody a discount on that. Well, next up we have Godfather of Hell. It says volume 1. I think this is just a standalone. But do you remember this book? This was released, and I think only the first issue ever came out, because this and a couple other books, they launched, and then suddenly they all were like, we're canceling the series, and it's going to be collected in a trade paperback.
Oh, I do remember. It's like a mob hitman kind of guy goes to hell and becomes like an enforcer for the devil.
Yep.
He sends him back up to Earth to send souls. But I do remember this.
There's like 2 or 3 series that all happened to.
Okay.
And we are finally getting this. So The Sopranos meets Lucifer in this supernatural horror crime drama, Godfather of Hell, where friends are close, enemies are closer, and revenge is a dish best served cold or hot as hell. He gives a new meaning to Underworld. Dario Santini has lived a charmed life as an enforcer and debt collector for the mob boss, Niccolo Mancini. He's had all respect, power, and even the love of a good woman, but everything changes when he crosses a line and is shot dead on the sidewalk. Waking up in hell, Dario faces a future of pain and suffering. Unless he can turn eternal damnation into a business opportunity, the devil is in the details, and Dario's dealing a dangerous hand when it comes to gambling with the biggest guy in the down below, Satan himself. It's a high-stakes game that he can't afford to lose. Lose the play, lose your soul. Can this sinner become a winner? Just remember, it's not personal. It's strictly business, mostly. Godfather of Hell, where gangster noir and exorcist terror collide, from Cavan Scott and Pius Bach. I got the first issue of this. I was like, this is actually really cool.
Yeah.
And then never again. And that was years ago.
Yeah, that was several years ago. And I was bummed because the first issue was mostly like a setup.
Yeah.
We didn't really get into the good stuff, and then it got canceled.
So, yeah, you can finally get it here for $24.99.
And then we have Hellraiser Omnibus. This is the Hellraiser Omnibus. This is going to be this is going to be $39.99. And this collects Clive Barker's Hellraiser number 1 through 20 and Hellraiser Annual number 1. So this is sort of like the older Hellraiser books to go along with the new Hellraiser series that I guess we're getting. So, Hellraiser fans, if you want to get all the comics or you've not read them, you can definitely check this out.
It should be called the Hellraiser Omnibus.
Right. Sure.
Right?
No, it shouldn't be.
Okay. Well, next up we have a couple of new printings to talk about, but starting off with a really cool one. They're doing the DC's work in progress Watchmen number 1. So we talked about the Dark Knight Returns last week. Well, now they are doing a Watchmen. This is going to be $14.99. I think it's just for Watchmen number 1. And these are oversized. They're the pencils and inks and all of that, where you can see the real, like, meat and potatoes of how they were drawn. So I think this is going to be really cool. And again, for $14.99.
I'm just glad that Watchmen's finally getting a reprint.
It's been,
it's been a long time.
A lot of people have never got to read it. It's a little known series from back in the day. And this is really cool. So this is G.I. Joe number 1, the 7th printing. And remember they did this with Duke, where this is the Doug Monkey cover. There's the regular one, and then there is the...
Oh, right.
Like battle damage.
Before and after.
Yeah. The Duke one was really like beat up too. So this is really cool and can go right alongside.
Can you go back and do that? Well, I love seeing like everything's fine and then destruction.
Yeah, very cool.
Well, we have Mask number 2, the 2nd printing, and this is the Jason Howard cover with Gloria Baker, and then there is also a Bruce Sato cover as well. And then we have Yumi 00EX number 1, the 2nd printing of that as well.
And that is it for Comics from the Future. So thank you so much for watching. Head on over to infinityflux.net right now. Start placing your pre-orders for these awesome books. Your pre-orders are due Sunday by 6 o'clock, so you don't miss out on any of these when they are released in a little while. Order as many as you want. Order 1 copy, order 10 copies. We don't care. It's just super important you get your pre-orders in. If you've never done that with us before, it's super easy. It walks you through on the website. It's free to do. It helps us. It helps you. It helps everyone. Stay tuned for our show coming up on Monday. Let's hope everything works out. Shipping is still a little weird.
Yeah.
We're gonna figure it out as we go, and we'll keep you updated. But that is the show where we talk about the books coming out next week. Give you a little bit better idea of what to expect when you head into your comic book store or infinityflux.net to get your comics. Anything else?
That's it.
That's all, folks.
All. Yep.
So until next time, see ya.